And good morning. It is a beautiful Sunday morning here and getting ready for a little bit of rain. I had my smoker out this overnight making some dehydrated jerky. Had my wife get some round steak, or actually a round roast. I had round roast. And we had that cut up nice and thin so we could season it and throw it on the smoker and dehydrate it overnight. It ran for 22 hours, and so far it looks like it turned out really good. And good morning, John. How are you today? It's nice seeing you here. And I was trying a piece of that jerky, and my past came up and got me. The jerky is actually really good. It wasn't tough. It was actually pretty decent as far as being soft. And at the exact right time, I took a bite and broke a tooth. The only good part is I already have a dentist appointment on Tuesday. One for that one, but I might take that one now. And so far, no pain, so that's always a good thing. But I can feel it. It's never a fun thing when you break your tooth in the morning, and it's not affected by hot coffee yet, so that is good. So yesterday was Valentine's Day. How did everybody do on the candy holiday? Anybody have any troubles sticking to their ketogenic diet of carnivore, keto? Anybody go off the rails and eat stuff that they shouldn't have eaten? I know my wife and I, we stayed the course. We didn't cheat on our diet and actually did very good. When I got done with my live stream yesterday, I went into Carnivore Quest for a few minutes, and then I had to leave. I had to run to the butcher shop before they closed so I could get some steak. When I got there, I wanted ribeyes. Is what I wanted. I wanted some fresh cut ribeye, but they were all out. They were out of ribeyes. They were out of New York strips. All they had were filet. So my meal went from $23 a pound to $38 a pound. But it was absolutely worth it. That tenderloin is absolutely delicious, along with the shrimp. Spectacular. We actually I bought one for my wife, one for me, one for my son, and one for his girlfriend, and I cooked them all up yesterday. They're absolutely amazing flavor. They turned out really well. So we stayed true to our way of eating. We stayed true to our diet and just kept it real. Because that's the hardest thing to do, is keep to your diet and keep it so that you're continuously doing what you're supposed to be doing. It's what a lot of people have trouble with. And I can see why at times. I normally don't have issues with it. My wife does. She does like to have the extra stuff out there, but I don't need it. I'm good with it like this. And then, I get to do silly stuff like buy that vertical smoker, and I get to go out there and I get to smoke different meats, different cuts, and do all kinds of fun stuff like that. One of the things that I love cooking brisket on there. And this is actually like this brisket on this picture. That was put into a vacuum seal bag and sealed, and This was pulled out about a week after I cooked the brisket, so it's just warmed up with eggs. Brisket and eggs is absolutely delicious. If you've never had brisket and eggs, you're missing out. This is a fabulous breakfast. So, how's everybody doing today then? And anybody have any issues making you hungry, John? Oh, you have deer meat to cook up today? That's awesome. Venison is actually I actually have a seasoning that I made that was specifically for backstrap. It actually it's really good on all kinds of different meats. Hey, good morning, Jeff. How are you doing this morning? Yeah, I read that. I picked that up pretty quick. This stream, it's for accountability and anybody that's having issues sticking to their diet. So basically, that's what we're doing here is a support group to help support anybody over the weekend when most people fail on their diets. There's just a lot going on, and people have trouble sticking to any type of a diet on weekends. And it's one of the hardest things that I've had to do is weekends when I'm bored and not doing anything, sticking to what I want to do for eating. It's the hardest thing for me to do. It's just like trying to give up coffee again. It just doesn't work for me. Hey, good morning, Bride's Biscuit. How are you today? How did you do for Valentine's Day, Bride? You stick to your eating plan, or did you go off rail? I don't think so. I think you've done really well too. This is I'll show this again. This is what I made last night for my wife and I. Tenderloin and shrimp. It was absolutely delicious. The butcher shop I went to get fresh cuts of meat, they did not have any ribeye or T-bone or New York strip left. All they had were tenderloins. Uncle Willie, good morning. I'm doing laundry this morning, then treadmill, then lifting weights maybe. Sounds like you got a busy morning planned out. I got up this morning and ended up grabbing my dehydrated jerky off the smoker. I smoked out there for 22 hours and then I had to let it cool off and get it back into the garage covered before the rain hit. Because apparently it's supposed to start raining here any moment. Stay true to your waving. That's good, Jeff. Yesterday is, for a lot of people, it's a really hard day because it's a sweet holiday. It's all about getting that sweet stuff for people. Your music video blew it out of the water today. I have not looked at it today, John. I have to go and look at your channel now. Did you just put one out this morning? I'll have to take a look at that and see. That's awesome. I know the last couple that you put out have been really good. I've enjoyed all your videos that you put out. They've been really nice. But I started out the stream this morning talking. I took a piece of that jerky. I was eating it. It was actually really nice. It was pretty tender too. And the damn thing broke my tooth. I got a bad tooth in the back on both sides. And I got a dental appointment on Tuesday to fix this one. This one broke this morning. And so far, it's not painful. I don't have any trouble. The night who starved the dragon. That is going to be interesting. That was actually released yesterday. How come I didn't get the notification of that? I love YouTube. You sign up for notifications and then they don't get them to you. I got that sitting here waiting to go after this live stream. I'll be able to watch it. Uncle Willie said your transmission went out on your truck last week. Gonna be ground beef for a while. Transmissions are not cheap. And that's one of the things that I never really learned how to work on a vehicle is a transmission. My dad taught me how to work on engines. I can tear an engine apart all the way to the transmission. And then I stop. I can tear an engine apart and I can put it back together. I've done that for several of my vehicles. Nothing like in the 5-year because computers. And, yeah. But as far as like old vehicles, I love old vehicles. I love tinkering with them. I love setting points, working with the distributor, getting the vans or retarded settings proper so that you can get gas mileage or get power, stuff like that. To me, that's an amazing skill to have. I can get better gas mileage with my old car I have from 1968 with a 327 than I can with most vehicles today, except for these little cars that shift between 6-cylinder, 4-cylinder, some of those. But even some of those cars, if you're not getting like 30 miles to a gallon on the highway with a car, I can tune my old car to that. It only takes a few minutes. And then I can stop in a parking lot. I can retune it fairly quickly for power or get 12 miles a gallon, but you can smoke your tires up. It's amazing. That's why it's an amazing skill to have. Listen to a motor and know how it's running. Be able to grab a timing light and adjust your timing and your carb to match so that you can get power instead of fuel economy. It's cool. Oh, you went out and walked this morning, Jeff? At 8,000 steps already. Holy smokes. I thought about doing that this morning. It looks so nice out. I looked at the temperature. It's still below freezing when I was thinking about that. I changed my mind real quick. Then I thought maybe after my live stream I was going to go out and do, because I got a path that I walk. And there's two different ones. One's just a mile, and the other one is 3.5 miles. And I thought about doing that. Now we're supposed to have rain. So I don't know if I'm going to. Bridesmaids, they had air fried pork chops. They ate one more baked leg wraps this morning. Yeah. It's uncanny. One day you'll learn. Still very much addicted to carbs. And you feel it. Yeah. It's, we did that over Christmas, my wife and I, where we did have some stuff that we shouldn't have had. And we planned on it. And I did it for the time I said I was going to do it. It was a 4-day period. That was it. My wife continued on. She did it for 2 weeks. And it has taken her a lot to get back. And for her blood sugars to come back to normalization. And then she got sick. I avoided the sickness. And I'm very thankful for that. I just watched John's latest before joining you. Well worth watching. Yes, Jeff, I've got that queued up here on my other screen. I'm going to watch it as soon as this is over. I have notifications set on here, so when he puts out a new video, I'm supposed to be notified, and I never got a notification on that. We'll make egg loaf after this. Okay. I just had some eggs this morning. My wife made them for me. Having somebody else cook your eggs or whatever for you just seems to taste better. I don't know why. It just does. All right. Now John says he's with everybody. Oh, you were in the other version, so now you're in with the original format, not the vertical format. I got you. Yeah, that gives you a little. On my screen, when people are in the vertical format, it gives me a little like a phone next to their name, so I can actually see who is on which side. There, and there's John saying good morning, Bride's biscuit. And, let's see. Hold on one here. My computer's been kind of goofy. Didn't want to do this here. Yeah, let's see. Brad says 14 months into carnivore, there's been so much metabolic healing. And Emily, yeah, I'm not even going to try that, of disease. But the brain still sends cravings nearly every day, even though I can go many months without giving in. It is rough. I haven't had cravings for the sweets and stuff like that. But it's been, well, the end of this month on the 28th, it'll be 1 year since I gave up smokeless tobacco. I still have those cravings. I still have that. I did it for 45 years, 46 years, 45 years, something like that. I did it for a long time. And I still have those cravings. Actually, the other day, it was really, really strong to do that. And I took all I could not to give into it the other day. John says hello to Jeff, and we send a little back. Now you got John. I'm gonna throw the link to your newest video in the chat here, so anybody wants to take a look at the video from John Together Strong. Please do like and subscribe to his channel. Watch his videos. He's got some really awesome music videos on this. Fragments if we're use just sweets, like you have zero starch, drawing like pasta, potatoes, bread, rice. Yeah, I don't have anything for that at all. For me, it's even the sweets. I used to eat. One of my granddaughters, I'd buy her I can't remember what the brand was. It's really soft gummy bears, and we'd buy the big bag of that, and we'd sit down and we'd eat a whole bag in a night. We'd also, if we didn't have the gummy bears, we'd sit down and we'd eat a whole bag of family-sized Lay's potato chips. We'd just sit there and munch on them, and that's what we did. I don't miss them at all. That doesn't bother me not having that. But the other day, I really had that strong craving for smokeless tobacco, and it was extremely strong. I've had off and on where I've had the cravings, but it's never been that bad and that strong. And John says, I hate when those hormones talk to you. It's the dopamine center crying out for stimulant. Yeah. And it does suck. It's not fun. Jeff said my cravings for sweets and bread are diminished but never go away. And that's got to be rough because I've never really had any issues with the food. Now, food noise gets me once in a while, but it's not like I'm really strong and I need to have something. It doesn't do that. What it does do is when I'm bored sitting here on the weekend, it's like I want to snack on something. It's the habit of having the snack, the habit of eating the chips, or the habit of eating the candy with my granddaughters. It's the habit that I have such a hard time with. Bryce, this is the same, John. It tastes just as good. You always remember it, unfortunately, even though I've had a few mouthful over the past year, the rush is intense and nearly overwhelming. Really, that's weird. I haven't given into that kind of stuff, so I can't say for that. Hey, Aaron. Good morning. Are you still doing your sardine fast, or did you give up on the fast? Congratulations on hitting Wonderland. I was actually really excited for you yesterday when I finally watched your video hitting that 199. It was actually under. It's absolutely amazing. Now, if I can only get down to that part, that'd be great. Yeah. If black coffee caused me similar problems, it would not make it. Lucky you don't get any negative feedback from coffee. I haven't had any issues recently. My tinnitus has really gone down, and it hasn't gone away like it did when I first started doing carnivore, but it is tremendously better. Some days I can hear it, and a lot of times I don't hear it anymore. Let's see. Aaron says he broke his sardine fast after 6 days. 2.6 ketone level this morning. That's amazing. Congratulations. Well, you did eat those foods daily for 60 years. Yep. And under addiction, it makes sense to you. You don't expect it to ever fully go away. And it probably won't. But you know how to manage it now. And creating new habits to do something else when you get those issues helps. And Eric says he can't rest on it. Tomorrow you'll be back to the 202. Yep. Yeah. You'll feel better when you get to the 190. Absolutely. When you get down to that 190 mark, and that's what my goal is, to get down to that 190 mark. So when I do fast, when I do lose weight, you can bounce in that variance in there, but I'll still be under 200. And that's where I want to be. If I'm 200, I don't, that's fine too. I mean, but I want to stay under 200 or under is what I really want. So a 190 goal would be a really good spot to be at because your weight fluctuates so much. Hey, good morning, Rick. How you doing today? It's one of those days. Aaron, you're almost to the point you can join the 190 club. Congrats, John. I appreciate that, Rick. You have a good day. Be safe out there. Stick with your plan to eat. That's where you grew up, is in Chicago. Yeah. Most of the time, I can overpower cravings with the logic of knowing how it'll make me feel. Yeah, and that's one of the big things too. And after this Christmas time, when my wife and I both intentionally ate off plan, we could both feel what it was doing to us, and we both know how it made us feel. And I personally don't like it. That little pain and everything is just not worth having. Yeah, I got that. Bridesmaid says, yes, new habits. I'm doing so much more with my time these days. I've been hovering at 202 and 205 for the past 6 weeks. After February, go do more fasting again, likely. Yeah. Yeah. It was actually, I hung around in the 217 to 222 mark for months, and it just didn't want to drop and go down. I got down to 213 pounds and then went back up to 217 and just kind of stayed there. This last fast I did, I got down to 207, which is absolutely amazing for me, and I was not expecting to go that low. I'd have been happy just getting back down to 212 or 213, and having hit 207 was amazing. Now I'm back up at 210, 211, and I'm just kind of sitting right there the last couple of days. But I want to do another extended fast at the end of the month. I want to see if I can get down to that 207 again and actually stick closer to that when I so I don't know if you guys can hear. There's dogs outside. Young kid that's out there walking their dogs, and my dogs are out yapping, trying to say hi to them. You got a little dog, a little fuzzy guy, a little Pomeranian, and he's got a cute little bark. Then I got my a Dalmatian, and she just likes to bark because she likes barking. And my big dog, he's got that bark that will send a chill down your spine if he doesn't like you. But then he's got this bark. There's other dogs out there, and he wants to go play. Let's see. John says, with me to maintain 190 can be a fight. The body wants to get back up to its learned set point, and it does. And that's part of why I want to do the fasting. And John is to try to reset my set points. That 220 set point that my body was trying to stay at, 217, 222. It really wanted to stay there. I could eat clean. I could eat, a lot of food and get where I thought I should be, but I just wasn't moving. How did you break your longer sardine fast? I had an omelet with bacon, sausage, and a ham. Didn't feel the best afterwards. When I did my long sardine fast, actually I broke mine with ground beef and eggs. It's the Power Bowl, if I remember right, and it was just I just started eating regular again. This last sardine fast, I broke that with bacon and eggs. Brad's said you were at 213 last summer. It's been moving slow now, but always 1 or 2 pounds per month. You like to be at 195 by next summer. The church and doctors want me below 176. That will take years likely. It might, or one of these days your body's just going to come out and say, we should get down there and we'll just drop the weight. You think you'll do smaller sardine fast in the future? You reset. I just did not feel the best the last day or so. Yeah. And it might be, as with any fast, it could have been, you said you weren't eating that many cans. Maybe you weren't eating enough in the sardine fast. The sardine fast is a protein sparing modified fast. So, sometimes it's really hard to eat those 4 cans a day, but I believe that's what Dr. Boss says is at least 4 cans a day is what you should be eating. And if you're not eating that much, then your body is probably not getting enough nutrient in it. Good morning, Jester. How you doing? You didn't feel the best on any pork products. You'd break it with steak and hamburger patties. Yeah, I agree with that. Ground beef with extra fat in it, or don't drain any of the fat out. It's really good. Movement will be key likely. It's been decades since you've been to a gym. You don't have to go to a gym. You can do workouts at home. You can just walk. I've actually got a weight bench sitting over here that I don't really use because I've never really lifted weights in my life. I don't know why. I just never have. And I've got a weighted vest I'm going to be using for walking this spring, summer, and fall. And I've actually used it a couple times on my treadmill. I got to take some weights out because when I have the 40 pounds that I carry, it's way too heavy for me to walk right now. You gotta kind of ease into that. Jeff, been as low as 159, currently at 175. It's time there. Like 175. Yep. Your body has a set point that it wants to get to. You can reset it, but a lot of times it takes a lot of work to get it reset. And it's like I had a hard time getting out of that 217 mark. It just didn't want to go down from that. Under 72 hours, refeed isn't all that critical. But when you do the 20-day fast like you're doing, you need to take it gentle. Was bone broth for the first day, second day, add little eggs. Yeah. The longer you fast, the more important the refeed is. And the more critical you have to be careful on how you refeed. Yes, absolutely. Planks are good for you, and it really does tighten up the core muscles and some other muscles that you have in there. Your planks are killers. Brian Spears says as long as you stay away from all plants, I'm good. Any animal protein, even dairy, you feel great. Just don't enjoy eating anything. Just don't enjoy eating anymore. Whether that's supposed to be, you don't really know anymore. Well, actually, I really enjoy eating still. Uh, I love the taste of steak. I love the taste of shrimp. That was absolutely delicious last night. I love that. That's one of the best things I've ever had. I've never actually cooked a tenderloin before last night. I've always just done ribeyes and stuff like that. I thought about throwing them on the smoker and smoking it, but my wife said no. She didn't want a smoked steak. She wanted to just cook like I normally do. So it turned out really good though. I cooked it in the oven to 110 degrees. And then I got my cast iron pretty hot with bacon grease, and it's like 90 seconds on each side, and it came out perfect. My son likes his cooked a little more than I do, so and my wife, she likes hers cooked a little more. I get mine medium rare. My son's girlfriend will eat medium rare like I do, so they're the two. Two of them were a little bit taller, and the two that were a little bit thinner. The same amount of time being cooked, and they came out perfect for the way they wanted theirs and perfect for the way I wanted mine. So it was actually really nice. The hardest set point I'm having is with blood glucose. Yeah, I just learned to stay at a higher level than insulin resistance, and that is an issue. My blood glucose, and I'm looking for my phone to look at my glucose level right now, and not looking into it right my camera. But my glucose every morning, like last night when I went to bed, my blood glucose was 92. When I woke up this morning, it's at 102. And my glucose at the morning should not be higher than my glucose when I go to bed, but it is 99% of the time. And that 1% time, I think it's always a fluke or whatever, because mine's always been higher. But a couple weeks ago, actually on February 1st, what was it? My wife and I did our A1C test, and my A1C was still at a 5.3. So I'm still good with it. Bryce Biscuit says that he you're likely overconsume if you enjoy eating. At least that's how I always used to eat. And I can do that still. I can very easily overeat. It does not bother me to sit down and eat 4 pounds of meat. I can do that. I've done it before. Hold on. Just one moment. Thank you very much for being patient and hanging out in there. Let's see, Bryce was saying that he'd be able to enjoy it. Yeah, I still have that issue. I can still eat. I don't get the signal that I'm full, and it's really hard sometimes. Uncle Willie says I haven't lifted weights over a month. I've been doing calisthenics instead. Better results for functional fitness. It can be, yes, it can. Hey, Bacon Runner, how are you doing today? It's nice to see you here. I know I saw you this morning at Dr. Kilt's. John says the glucose will be higher in the morning due to the dawn phenomenon. Yeah. For a lot of people, they don't have that issue, I don't think. Well, or maybe they do, and they just don't know because they don't track it at all. Inflammation markers are the slowest to move for you, Bryce Biscuit, even though most diseases are gone now, and A1C is way down from type 2. So your inflammation markers just aren't coming down like they should, huh? Bryce was, yeah, you see the dawn effect daily on a CGM, at least 10 points, sometimes higher. And it's frustrating, isn't it, Bryce? Because I know I'm not eating anything that I shouldn't. Even when I wake up in the morning, and I've done this here a few times now. I did it actually for a week when, doing the Lion Diet with Kilt's group, where I took my blood glucose and ketones. My alarm would go off. I'd hit my alarm, my lights on. I'd take my glucose while still laying in bed, and it was still higher than it should have been. John says higher inflammation is most likely caused by insulin resistance. Yeah, over time, HSCRP score will look better. And the dawn effect starts at 3 a.m. Yeah, well, I get up at 4. And it does. You can tell too. You can look at my CGM and you can see where my body is getting ready to wake up. No, that was me. My work called, so I got interrupted. Bryce Piece says, yes, calculated HOMA-IR still shows insulin resistance, which will be slow to move, even though the blood glucose is very stable normally. Even post Pandrel, it really elevates for 10 to 15 points. Yeah, John said that it was a phone call. It's my work calling me. We need some elevator music when I leave. Yeah, I think that's only the second or third time I've had to do that since I started doing the live streams. Yeah, I know I can do it in here. There's spots in here where I have media assets and I can do that kind of stuff, and I just haven't figured it out. Yeah, I figured out how to put my North Dakota Carnivore banner up there behind me. Sometimes I'm just a dumbass, you know. It happens. Let's see. John says, it's going to take me a while for my insulin resistance years of chronic stress turn off my body to be in a fight or flight constantly. Yeah. And it's that whole sad way of eating has really messed up so many people. And even like today, people will ask you, well, there's no study that shows that carnivore is good for you. Well, can you show me the study that showed that the standard American diet that they put us on in 1977 was good for us? There was no study. There wasn't. So how can you even argue that? It's kind of ridiculous. Bradley said, I believe the dawn effect is physiological. You don't get eaten by a saber-toothed tiger and all. Yeah. John says everyone has a down effect. It's built into our genetics. Maybe it is. Jester says you don't eat nose to tail, then maybe some lichen plus NAC would help things regarding inflammation. It has for you. Yeah, it's for a lot of people, eating nose to tail is actually a good thing to do. You just can't overeat some of the organ meats. Uh, but eating them once in a while, or once or twice a month, really does the body a lot of good. And there are some of them I really enjoy. Like I actually enjoy liver. It's one of the organ meats that I actually don't mind having is liver. And I don't have to have it with onions. I can just eat it that way. It doesn't bother me. You're in the fight or flight at all times to do with your ex. Yeah, that will do it. Aaron says, "Oh, my blood work came back great, 7.2 A1C. Kind of surprised it was that high." There is another test out there for instead of the A1C if you're doing a carnivore diet, and the fructosamine, I believe, is what they call it. I don't know if Dr. Berry has it in this book. Yeah, fructosamine test. And he actually gives Common Sense Labs by Dr. Berry. I knew that's who I heard it from. And he does talk about the fructosamine test in here. Same page as the HSCRP, high sensitivity C reactive protein test. That's pretty cool. Page 60. And basically what he's saying is that because of your blood cells living longer, the fructosamine gives you a different reading, and it works for your body because it gives you that reading in it. Because you can still have a higher A1C on a carnivore diet, but still not be diabetic. Let's see, Bryce says you eat all animal proteins, including seafood, liver from beef, pork, chicken, and cod. Chicken liver, I love chicken liver. That's really good. I don't think I've ever had cod liver, but I hear a lot of people talk about it. And beef liver, of course. I don't mind that at all. You like the canned cod liver? That's good. 6.2 A1C typo. 6.2, that's actually tremendously better, Aaron. And that's hardly over. Or that's pre-diabetic, isn't it? Brad, basically have a can a month at least, Aaron. You eat other 10 fish weekly. Yeah. I still have a lot of good sardines from Wild Planet here. And next weekend we'll be going back down to Costco. Well, maybe even I don't know if it's gonna be Costco if we're going to Sam's. But we got to go out of town next weekend for some stuff, and we'll be coming back. And when we come back, we're gonna stop there and do some extended shopping. We're also waiting on a snowstorm this week. We're forecast to get 7 to 10 inches of snow on from Tuesday afternoon until Wednesday afternoon. We're supposed to get dumped on pretty good here. So I got my snowblower and my smokers swapped around, so my snowblower is accessible again. And Jester says you can eat all those different proteins, but if you're not eating the organ meats, then you could still be low on glutathione, and the precursor is glycine and NAC. Okay. I will take your word for that. I have not looked into that much. And John said that is correct. A1C can be higher during carnivore because the blood cells live longer. And that's why you can do the fructosamine testing, and it gives different markers because it's tested a different way. And it's looking for different glycation levels or something. It does have it in the book. I haven't gotten through the whole thing yet. And Aaron says, yeah, some canned mackerel with olive oil and lemon. Very good. And it was not so pricey. You could fast on that. Yeah. The nutrient profile for the mackerel is very similar to that of the sardines anyway. So why not? Uncle Willie says, I start all my meals with 2 cans of sardines now. Really? 2 cans of sardines and I'm full. So I wouldn't be eating much. And Bright says, I made a killer chicken pate last week. Very clean. Just liver, cream, salt, and pepper. Actually, it sounds pretty good. Sounds like it's a good thing to make there. Oh, Days just stayed up last night too late watching hockey. Our local junior hockey team was out of town playing, and actually they're just a couple hours away where I used to work, playing in a pretty cool arena down there. And the night before, they got their butts beat pretty good, but they turned around last night and just killed it. The second period scored 5 goals in the second, ended up winning 6-2. It was an amazing night. Oh, and butter. Yes, gotta have some butter in with that too. Speaking of hockey, off to the game. Have a great one, Aaron. Enjoy. Take care. Take care, Aaron. See, Bryce says it too. So, man, I should go skating today. Like our public skating at our arena starts at 3:00. So, my granddaughter and I haven't been skating for a couple of weeks again. It's such a good exercise. It's so much fun to go out there and do that. Just go out and have a little bit of fun and get some exercise. And she really enjoys skating. Now, one of the easiest ways to do anything like what we're doing here, we talked about how much we eat and what we eat and stuff. A lot of people think our carnivore diet is extremely expensive. It's probably a nice day here in New York City, much warmer last week or so. Yeah. And well, it's been here in my part of North Dakota, it's been uncannily warm. It's just weird. We don't have any snow on the ground right now. And for this time in February, that's just unheard of. But that's all supposed to change here shortly. But so many people talk about the carnivore diet and how expensive it can be. It's not expensive. When you're eating the right foods, like this right here, just ground beef and bacon. It's a pound of ground beef and half a pound of bacon. That is one of the simplest meals. And this is the same thing with some eggs thrown into it. It's a pound of ground beef, 6 eggs, and 6 to 8 pieces of bacon. It's not that expensive. Each of these burger patties is about $1. That's a quarter-pound patty, and there's 6 of them in there, $6. And the shrimp isn't that expensive. I can't remember how much it was, but this is under $10 for what I have there. And even when I eat things like steak, yesterday I spent way more on a steak than I would have liked to. But that was for a special occasion. I didn't plan ahead to do what I should have done. But I buy the strip loin roast. This strip loin right here was $9.99 a pound. So each of these steaks is less than $10 a pound for these steaks. And these steaks are actually pretty darn close to a pound each. And I leave the fat on these. Some of the stuff that's on the right side there, that's pretty thick fat. Some of that you can't render down and it doesn't really go away. I'll eat most of it that I can. But it's a lot cheaper than paying $19 a pound at the grocery store. I can do the same thing for $9 a pound. It's the same with the ribeyes. These ribeyes, they were $13.99 a pound for the rib roast. This is cheap. You can't get this art. The local grocery store right here, a couple blocks from my house, they want $26 a pound for a ribeye. The butcher shop I went to yesterday, they're at $28 a pound for ribeye, but their ribeyes are actually really good quality. But that's just, it's so much easier to do this here yourself. You just need a good breaking knife and a sharp one, and you can do that yourself. It makes this way of eating so much cheaper. See, Bryce says ground beef is still half of my diet. You're so thankful that price has stayed reasonable. Absolutely. And I eat a tremendous amount of ground beef. That's what I eat. I bought a New York strip loin roast the last time I went to Costco. I think I've only ate 4 of them in the past month. Otherwise, it's been ground beef. My son and his girlfriend actually probably had as much as I've had. Anyone else see Max German's video on eggs? Talked about the Vital Farm scam. I did not, but I heard some people talking about it on another stream. I think that was on Keto Simple, Dustin's live stream this morning. They were talking about that. But it was through Max German. I do watch him. I subscribe to him. I'll have to go find that video. You're done with steak. Makes no sense to spend 5 to 8 times the price. And that's why I buy it by the roast so I can cut it myself. And there's a live stream I was in yesterday, and I can't remember if it was Larry's or whose it was. Somebody was talking about buying a brisket and then just grinding it up themselves. I've done that. It comes out really good. It's really nice to have. I've done a whole brisket. I've ground it up, cut it up, ground it up. It turns out delicious. It's really a good deal when you do that. Because you can buy a brisket cheap. You know, I know there's the person that posted this the other day said that they had it for like $2.69 a pound or $2.99 a pound. I can't get that. We get our brisket around here is still $4.60 a pound. But that's ground beef. It's cheap. And it's got really good flavor too. Bridesmaid says it's practically the same nutrition as 80-20 ground beef. And it is. It's delicious. I had no issues with it. And if you wanted to, you can buy some beef liver, chunk it up, throw it through the grinder, and then you even have your beef liver right into your ground beef. Even chuck here's a ripoff. Usually, $9 to $12 a pound, and that's what ours has been doing too. Our chuck roast, they've been selling those for $9.99 a pound most of the time around here, and that's just more than what it should be. I can buy a chuck roll at Costco for $5 a pound, a whole chuck roll. Might do that. Uncle Willie says his diet is 90% ground beef and burger patties. Yeah, you can make this way of eating as cheap as you want or as expensive as you want. You don't have to spend a lot of money, but if you want to, you can. Just check. Brisket is $9 a pound by you, Bride's Biscuit. Yeah, that's a lot. Amazon sells ground beef typically for $2.49 a pound. Wow. Yeah, I don't have anywhere around an Amazon delivery from. I can't get their food, so they won't deliver to North Dakota. At least not where I'm at. I don't think they'll do it to Fargo either. There's no Whole Foods or whatever it is that they bought that does that. So, oh, well, it's been just over an hour. Hey, did Larry do his live today? I know he was talking about doing a live, but at a different time, and I didn't see that he has done one yet. There's no notification saying that he went live. Huh. That's market manipulation. Price varies too much by region, and it does. It's just like the gas prices too. The state I live in, we produce a lot of oil. We have a refinery. The oil that we produce doesn't go to our refinery. The oil that does get refined here in this state goes to a different state. Doesn't make sense. The state that it's going to has much cheaper prices for gas than we do, but we're the ones that are refining it. It's just crazy how they do that. And then they haven't made any new refineries for such a long time. So how is this? I want to show this one more time. This is what I look like prior to August of 2024. I was extremely obese. In some of these pictures, I was 300, close to 350. 347 was my biggest weight that I saw. But you can see how bad off it was, how round my face is, how big that belly is. And I was just unhealthy. That's what I look like. And it's just crazy that I let myself get that way. And that's what I look like now. I went from wearing a size 48 pants there, like this, size 48, to a size 32. Huge difference. And just the whole way I feel is so much better now. Prime rib by you currently is $28.99. Sirloin is $16.89 a pound. That's crazy for $16, almost $17 a pound for a sirloin. That the sirloins used to be the cheap steaks, and now they're trying to get $16 a pound for them. That's just crazy. And Bryce Biscuit says he was at 276 14 months ago. Yeah. 18 months ago, I was 335 pounds right as I was starting my carnivore diet. Since I started my carnivore diet, I've lost 128 pounds. I've come off of my blood pressure medications. I came off of my allergy medications. My anxiety improved. My moods improved. Mental clarity is tremendous. And my overall attitude has been so much better. And it's just amazing what this way of eating does for a person, that you don't ever really think about some of the stuff that goes on. It's absolutely amazing. And my relationship with my wife has improved tremendously. She's started also. She's reversed her type 2 diabetes. Uh, in, she's lost some weight. She really didn't need to lose much. She lost a few pounds. But her body has actually been really good with this way of eating. At Brightsmith, 17 beds since 2024. Yeah, it's amazing what this does. Congratulations on that. I can't remember how many beds I was taking at one time. I know at one time it was like a dozen different medicines. I had one of those pill organizers. I had all kinds of crap. Take some of them during the day, take some of them at night. It was just a mess. And when I started this carnivore diet, I'd come off of a bunch of them on my own because I didn't like how I felt when I was taking the statins. There's two different statins I was supposed to be taking, and I could not take them. Just the way I felt was terrible. And then I was taking those Mongol fish pills. They're huge. And just, I didn't like how that was. They were gross. And Willie says here, my belly's finally smaller than my chest. 48-inch chest, 46-inch belly. That's awesome. Congratulations, Uncle Willie. I know when I've got one of those cloth tape measures for measuring your body. When I started the carnivore diet, it's a 60-inch tape, and it wouldn't go around my belly. My belly was over 60 inches around. Last time I checked it, which was when I ended my fast, my stomach around my belly button was 37 inches for the first time. So it's less than half my height, which is amazing. But I started out with a huge belly. I mean, you can look at it here. You can see how big that picture in the white and then the black rose throwing my granddaughter in here. My belly was massive. It was a really big belly. Bridesmaids, half of his medications were mental health, and you're off of all of them now. That is truly amazing. Welcome back, John. Bridesmaids, 3 blood pressure, 1 statin, 2 GI, 3 neurologic. Yeah, that's a lot of medications to be on. And getting off of them is a tremendous feeling. And John, he started carnivore at 367 pounds. He's down to 190. That was 12 years of keto, 9 months carnivore. He had reversed diabetes, fatty liver, heart disease after a 5x bypass. And he no longer needs glasses anymore. Mental clarity improving every day. And it's just getting better and better. And it is so nice to see. Congratulations, John. Yeah, right. Straight to you lost nearly 1 of each other. He's lost a whole person plus some. You know, it's just amazing. Yeah, it's a huge loss. You know, from my youngest, I've lost 140 pounds. John, he's lost 177 pounds. Oh wait, 277. 177. He's lost, you know, it's a huge amount of weight. You've lost a person. And John says he yo-yoed back and forth for a while. And it happens. That's one of the things that we're talking with, Aaron earlier. Is your body weight does fluctuate daily. And I've learned to stay off the scale. I still do jump on it every once in a while during the week just to see, but I don't record that weight. Even if it's lower, I don't record it because that's not where I'm weighing. I take my weights either Saturday morning or Sunday morning. And that's the weight I use when I do anything because that's usually where I'm at my lightest after getting at least an 8-hour sleep cycle in. If I don't get 8 hours of sleep, I don't take my weight. And during the week, I don't ever get 8 hours of sleep. Yeah, 75 for you. You have about 25 to 30 to go. Yeah, slip up over the weekend where it was nearly 3 months. Yeah, it takes a long time once you slip up to get it back to come down again. And your body just it remembers that and it wants to stay there, which sucks. Well, it's been about an hour and 10 minutes. I do have to get out and go take care of some stuff here. So you guys have a great day. Stay strong, and we'll catch you as Brian basically catch you in the streams, and we'll catch you back here next weekend. You all have a great day, and we'll talk to you later.